So, a conversation today is going to be with the owner of Nailbender Provisions. Federico Villaseñor is a hat maker. Not only does he craft hats specialized to fit perfectly on the person who orders its head, he also threads art into those hats, customized to bring out for the person, what they want are to accent their personalities. And these hats are made really well, from everything I have seen. I plan to probably order one for my husband in the future, maybe for myself. But yeah, it's very unique that we have a local hat maker. But not only is he a hat maker, but he owns a storefront with local goods, and curated aesthetics for like retro clothing and new clothing, and some local supporting clothing. As you can see, he's got some shirts that are for Longview, Texas. He's got Shreveport shirts. He's got a lot of interesting scents that he made that were made for him with clean slate botanicals. So he's working with other local businesses, and he has really unique styles of stuff. Here's one of his hats right here. He does cowboy hats, fedora hats. He's done top hats. So it's really depending on what you want, and he'll work with you and help build a design for it. So let's listen to that conversation. It's a really good one. He's a great guy. He's not just a hat maker. He's also a photographer. So that multi skilled artist. We love to see it here. All right. So I'm gonna let you guys watch that. And remember, we will have a commercial break sometime within the video, and then we'll get right back to the rest of the video from there. Just bear with me when we get to that point. All right, guys, enjoy. Hello, I'm Brittney Hazelton, and this is ArkLaTex Artistry, where we explore the arts in our area. Today's guest is a small business owner and an artist of an interesting craft that we're going to talk about today. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, hello, Brittany. My name is Federico, and I'm owner at Nail Vendor Provisions on Gilbert Street, right here in Highland.
Yeah, that's over there. If anybody knows where Key Mexico is, it's pretty much right next to Key
Right,
Mexico.
yep,
Yeah.
like right across the patio.
Yeah, right across the patio. I recently went into your shop because I think I saw someone post about it, and I was like, okay. And my Kate Alex, DJ Kate Alex,
Mm-hmm.
actually referred me to go check it out the last time he was in, which was a couple of weeks ago.
Nice.
He's like, hey, you should check out that shop.
Yeah.
I think you would like it. And I've always been interested in the hat making I've seen, I think, from you
Yeah.
before. I've seen your hats in other places.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, you're a hat maker.
I am a hat maker, yes, ma'am.
And tell me a little bit about Nailbender Provisions. What do you sell there?
So at the store, primarily what the business is started off was the hat making, and of course I cannot rely only on a hat making business, so I
Yeah.
have to like open a little bit the products that I can sell at a storefront, especially in this area for the community. So I have some. I have a couple of brands that I carry from California, which are like very nice denim, which we like denim Western stuff around here. I make some of my merch. I just got a Shreveport with the flag crest and on the chest, which has been really popular lately. So I get some clothing apparel. I make my trucker hats also, but I have some room sprays also and some candles that I love a good scent. You know, like kind of getting
Yeah.
home and getting that nice whiff of of your own
Oh,
house, you
yeah.
know.
I bought some frankincense from
Yeah,
you,
yes,
and no, those are so wonderful.
they're very nice.
Yeah.
And I work with Clean Slate Botanicals, which is a local business also. We collaborated to get a candle exclusively for nail bender. And
Nice.
now we just got a room spray. They're so talented that they were able to make the candle scent into a room spray also.
Oh,
So aside of that, we have some vintage clothing, you know, like actual vintage Y2K thrift pieces also. So it doesn't have to be like super worn out
yeah.
either. But it's I think sometimes it's a very cool piece just to, you know, like
You
let
know
it.
what? I think the reclaimed stuff is sometimes the best,
Yeah.
anyways, right? And then it all has an aesthetic that really matches your shop, from what I've seen and
Thank
all
you.
the clips that
Yeah,
you've
it's
picked there.
I mean, I try to keep a certain aesthetic at the store, uh, but of course, always try to be wide open to be able to hold some or showcase some of the local artist stuff.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to, of course, put some of the local businesses
Mm.
at the store. Also, there's a sock brand like. There's like this awesome kid that is working with a like upper state they're making their socks, but it's a
Mm.
local business and they're making merino wool socks.
Oh,
So
that's
they
really
only have
cool.
an online operation, but I offered them to sell them at the store to
That's
for them to
nice.
have a storefront. So their name is Good Socks, and they're amazing. Of course, I have to try them, you know, and have one of each pairs, and they're like amazing.
Well, I did notice that you did have local artisans and other local goods there, and well,
Hmm.
that's one thing I wanted to ask you since we're on the topic.
Yeah.
Like, what to you? Why is it important for local businesses and local artisans to connect in that way? Why is that important to you?
Well, I think like as I still call myself a foreigner. I'm from Mexico City, so whenever I came to Shreveport, one of the things that I noticed the most is the community and
Mm,
how local artists support each other.
yeah.
So I'm a photographer as well. So whenever I came here first, I was trying to, you know, like do my craft and work as much as I could. But then I started looking at everybody else around me, musicians, painters, photographers,
Yeah.
uh, graphic designers, DJs, you know, like every single body support each other. And that is one of the things that I've fallen in love with the city, you
Oh
know,
yeah.
all the community and all the support that
Oh,
they
definitely.
yeah, they just connect and they support each other and they create amazing events. They create like music jazz fest, like Bears Fest. Like I love that Bears hold some of many artists
Oh
on
yeah.
their walls. You
They
know,
like do showcases and
yeah,
stuff. I've noticed more businesses doing showcases,
yeah,
for the artists and putting their art on the wall,
mm-hmm,
and selling their art in the businesses. And
yeah,
it's good to see that. And that's the thing about Shreveport is, we're people come to Shreveport and they get surprised by how nice people are. We
yes,
are. We're nice. We're
yeah.
very nice. As long as you don't step
I
on
love
our,
it.
as long as you don't step on our toes, we're
I know,
nice.
yeah,
But like as a artist community, we're very different in a lot of ways because
yeah,
we do all work together.
mm-hmm,
We're not here just trying to push each other out, gatekeep
no,
each other. You know
yeah,
what I mean? We were actually legitimately trying to boost each other up, and
mm-hmm,
it's great that small businesses like yours are involved in that community, and you're an artist yourself. So let's talk a little bit about your craft. So you're a photographer and you make hats.
yes,
So how did let's start with your hat making.
yeah.
How did you get started? Like, how did that start for you?
Yeah, so it was a while ago. I've always loved to wear hats. Like as you can
Yeah.
tell, as you can you remember at the shop every time. Like these couple times that you came over, I'm wearing a hat all the time. It might be a trucker hat or the nicer hats that I
Yeah.
make for myself that are exclusively for like important dinners or like bigger events or
Just
whatsoever.
wanting to dress up,
Yeah,
even.
dressing up hats. So there's like a couple of times that I went on vacation and went into these hat stores, And of course, these companies are huge. I'm not gonna name any of them, but it's just they just make like a mass production of hats.
Yeah.
So of course, whenever you like a hat a lot, you're gonna try to find the one that fits the closest
Yeah.
because they're not gonna fit you 100%. I own a couple of hats, and it's so funny. Even though that I make and fix hats, I haven't fixed my own hats. So that's really funny. But I can still feel whenever I put it on that it's probably like a little bit tight on the sides. It's not very, the height is not
Yeah.
as I would have loved. So that, like, it started to get like me intrigued into
Yeah.
how the hats are made and all that. So while I was working at Key Mexico as a bartender, I got the opportunity to get another job and start making hats. And from there, like, just to find out like the possibility of you making a hat for a person that will fit perfectly,
Yeah.
that just blew my mind. So I started doing my own research. I started practicing, and I started
Nice.
making the hats on my like hats for me. And I just wore a hat a little bit ago, the one that I made for my wedding. There was so many mistakes, So
Yeah.
I saw how many little mistakes where I have improved on my craft now.
Nice.
So I just
It's kind of that's the art, right?
yeah.
You make mistakes, but so many people are scared to fail, so
Yeah.
they don't ever do the craft. But the thing I tell people is like, the mistakes are lessons.
Yeah.
Every time you make a mistake, you learn from it.
Yeah,
And you
exactly.
try to correct it the next time you do it. Even if you're not considering that, your brain remembers, hey, that was a problem last
Yeah.
time. How do I fix that?
Exactly.
And that's how you improve on a craft, right?
Yeah.
So,
And it was so funny because for this event, I was gonna wear my cowboy hat that I made for my wedding, but then I saw the sweatband was kind of loose and it wasn't properly placed. So I
Yeah.
literally took it off and then put a new sweatband on, and
Nice.
even the feel on me wearing that hat is just completely different.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to get all these local people in Shreveport the opportunity to have a good handmade hat
Made for
like
their head,
exclusively
made for them,
Yeah,
yeah.
So of course there's several of like companies that make custom hats, or
Yeah.
several artisans that make custom hats, but they're very far. They're up north, or they're in
Yeah.
Europe, or they're in South America, or they're in Canada. Or
I think it's
just like,
really nice that we have someone that makes custom hats
thank
here.
you. Yeah.
Because it's always been that way for me. Because I'm actually quite a hat lover myself.
Oh, wait.
I was very much a top hat wearer.
Wow.
I have a custom made top hat that I had made for myself because with dreadlocks, my head is already big.
Yeah.
And with dreadlocks, it's a size 8.
A size 8? Wow.
Yes.
Okay.
So I couldn't find a hat that
Yeah.
fit me without me like stuffing my dreads up into
Right.
it. And so when I was getting married,
Mm-hmm.
we wanted my side to have top hats, and my husband's side had fedoras.
No way.
And so
That's really
I
cool.
had my hat custom made to fit my head, and
Yeah.
I love that hat. I still
Yeah.
have it today. It's got the lacing corset top,
Oh,
and it's
nice.
a big bell type style. I'll have to show
That's
you it
very stylish.
sometime.
Please do. Yeah.
But, like,
I love that.
I
I
had
made
to
one top hat at the shop already.
really.
Yeah, it
Oh, I
was
have.
an AC/DC hat.
Ooh,
So I
that's
stitched
cool.
the AC/DC bolt on the back, like big
That's
bolt,
cool.
like red. And then the customer brought over some like vintage pins and a vintage
Ooh.
ticket, like a Ticketmaster ticket, like the purple and
Nice.
green,
Yeah.
like. So I put everything together, and it was like an Angus Young guitar pick also. So I put everything together, and it turned out really nice. I
That
was very
sounds
nervous
awesome.
because it was my first top hat, but it turned out really good.
Oh,
and the
you'll have to.
customers loved
You'll
it.
definitely have to show me the pictures
Yeah, I
of
will.
that. I've always called myself a little bit of a mad hatter because of how much I love
Yeah.
hats. That's why one of the reasons definitely I was like, hey, we have to definitely talk
Yeah.
to you.
Thank you.
Another thing that you do with your hats is you do sew-in designs
Yes.
on some of them.
Yeah.
So do you draw those first? How do you plan those out?
So there's I'm not a a drawer or a painter artist, and that has been one of the challenges since
Yeah.
I opened the business. So, of course, there are new techniques. There's a lot of people that use laser to
Yeah.
literally throw the design on the computer and the laser to make it perfectly on the hat,
Huh.
which is, I mean, it's really cool
That's a
looking and all
viable
that,
way.
but I really like the craft of, so I just have to make one hat um, whenever I get out of here or Tuesday. I'm gonna stitch a beaver. So
Oh.
it's gonna be probably back here. And what I do whenever it's a very complex design, I just print it on on paper, and then cut it up, and then I just like tape it to the hat, and then
Oh.
I start following the lines.
So through the paper, and you just go from
Yeah,
there.
it's
You can
like
remove the paper after. That makes
yeah,
sense.
you can just remove it, and of course, I mean it's kind of tedious because sometimes the thread like holds the paper like in between the hat and the thread. So
Yeah.
with tongs, you have to like take
Yeah.
the paper
Yeah.
all out and it's all that. But it's really interesting whenever it comes to like making lines. Might be the easiest thing to do. Just straight
Yeah.
lines, go back and forth, up and down, in and out. But whenever it comes to curving it, that's when it's like fun,
Yeah. Because then you
well, it's
kind of
fun.
gotta. Yeah. So I think thread, like I call it thread painting, is
Yeah.
like because I don't. I'm a painter by trade
Wow.
normally,
Okay.
but like I got burlap and I got just a big pack of just colored threads,
Hmm.
and I just started making paintings out of them
Wow.
with different colors, and
Yeah.
I just love that process. And you got to figure out how to make the shapes
Yeah.
work.
Yeah.
You gotta kind of meticulously curve it while you're
Yeah.
going. And I really respect that you do that
Thank you.
without, the more natural drawing. That
Yeah.
you don't do that. You
Yeah.
like, find a way
And
around it.
it's like you just said, it's just to the mentality of I'm not just gonna give up because I don't know how to do it. It's just
Exactly.
I'm gonna find a way to do it, and I'm gonna find a way to do it correctly.
Yeah.
So of course I practice first on the extra felt that I have from the hats.
Yeah.
I have like little pieces like 1 inch or 2 inches, and I just cut them and I just practice there, and then I
Right.
see
That's a
how
good
it's
way to
gonna
do it.
go and how I should do the curving or how it's gonna look. If I There's sometimes that as a photographer, I want to do like certain depth on the designs.
Yeah.
So you have to change the color of the thread because you cannot
Yeah.
shadow, like
Do
the
the
designs.
slightly darker
The
color
slightly
of that,
darker
or
on
the dark,
certain parts and yeah,
lighter
yeah.
highlights to give it that depth.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that kind of thing, it's very fun. Like my brain.
You're actually learning parts of painting,
Yeah,
like things that
a
we do
little
as
bit,
painters
yeah,
to create that depth, but
yeah.
using it in thread.
And I mean, it's really fun. Of course, some at the beginning, my fingers start like cramping and
Oh yeah.
hurting, and of course, I was poking myself so many
Oh
times.
yeah.
There's a video on my Instagram that I was making a hat, and I literally just like went through my finger, and I was like, oh, so I recorded it
Ooh.
because sometimes I think people want to see
Yeah, you got to see the.
you doing the stuff, and
Hmm.
then like if there's an accident or a blooper or something, they want to see it
Yeah,
too.
well, they
So
need to know, like, hey, this can happen.
yeah,
Here's that
yeah,
mistake
it's
that
like sweat,
you
tears,
know.
and blood in
Hmm.
these.
That's exactly it.
you know.
Yeah, I know when I was doing the thread work, pushing the needle down, I was
Hmm.
using just my raw hand
Yeah,
and I had its big bruise from me just like forcing it through the burlap, because
yeah,
the burlap canvases are a little
it's
hard to
hard. Yeah,
press through. Yeah.
it's so funny. People, I don't know if they told you this, like whenever you're doing your art, but a lot of people keep telling me like, why don't you use a like a thumb, like a what is it called, like a thumbnail? No,
Yeah,
uh,
I know what you're
thimble,
talking about, the little
the thimble.
thimbles. Yeah.
So I was like, the thing is like I don't know where I'm pushing the needle to.
Yeah.
It's weird. I understand myself exactly, but to explain people that I don't feel where the needle is going
And
or
it's not
how
as
hard am I
precise
pushing.
feeling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so sometimes I use my finger and then I feel the needle. It's like okay, that's
You
not
want
the
the
way to
control.
go. So I have to go back and put it again. So
Hmm.
it's just, but you don't want to poke yourself. And I'm like, I know, but sometimes you need to feel, where it's
Yeah.
coming. So I don't know. it's just my own world here, and
Hey, Lo,
it's
look, I
just,
understand.
it's just a lot of fun.
I eventually found like a little leather cap thing.
Yeah,
It's like a very soft leather, but it's enough to keep me from over bruising, but I can
yeah.
still feel it. Because I tried using
The
it just
metal
didn't work for
ones.
me either, because I don't feel like there's a preciseness to
Yeah,
it, you know?
I made myself a leather one, and sometimes I use very thin needles. That even that one just
Yeah, it's too much
got
even
poked, and
then.
it went all the way to my fingers. I was like, this doesn't work. Why am I losing my time with this? It's just, I don't even feel comfortable using it, you know. So I just like toss it away. But it was, yeah, it is fun. I love what I do. So
Oh, so you brought some. Alright, guys, here's that short commercial break, and then we will get right back to that video for you guys. So bear with me. Some of your hats with us
yes,
today. Can you show us a
yeah,
few of
absolutely.
them?
So I got three hats here, and it's funny because fortunately I had the process of it in different colors, but it's the process of it. So this is the way the hat
Uh,
gets to the shop. So this is the felt. I won't say it's pre-shaped because it's just kind of
that's like the like kind of base form
yeah.
of
This
it.
is let's call it the blank. So this is
Yeah.
the way it gets to the store. It gets like a coney shape. Whenever they put the felt together, they use like a cone to put that kind of shape, and then they flat it down a little bit the brim, so it's kind of easier to work with it instead of having just a cone of
Yeah.
felt, you know. So it's a little bit easier to for you to get it, and then from there start working on it. So this is the way it gets to the store. Very,
So how do you
it's
go about
uneven.
shaping it, the
Yeah, so from
process?
there, I have to block it first, and I use one of my blocks depending the size of the hat. So this is the second one. So this is not cut yet. The brim, as you can tell, is uneven still. But
Mm-hmm.
then the shape of the crown, it's a little bit more even. It's a little
Yeah.
bit straight on the front, on the sides. So it's more like it's a better shape for you to start working on it.
Yeah.
And after you block it, you create the crease. So whenever you put the sweatband in, you have to follow that line. So it's a better. It gets together where the sweatband ends and when the crease of the
Yeah.
felt starts out of the brim. You know, so right here I have to like crease it better. This is just like an example. I'm not even done with this, but this little curve has to disappear.
Yeah.
So whenever
Okay.
you put the sweatband on, it's the sweatband, and then it's the brim instead of this curve.
So
And
it's a straight edge
yeah,
as
so
opposed
you avoid
to.
like a little space right here between the felt and the sweatband. So there's that. And after that, you have to pounce it. So as you can tell in the other hat, this is a little bit more furry. You can
Yeah.
see the texture of it and all
So you
that.
kind of got to shave it a
Yeah.
little,
So
right?
what I do, it's I first leave it on the block and then put a little bit of stiffener on it, which is flammable, and that's where
Oh.
the show starts. So you start spraying all that, and then you light it up.
You set it
So
on
everything
fire.
catches fire, and it burns a little bit the fuzziness of the felt. After that, it will leave like this brown kind of
Uh huh.
like texture.
Yeah.
But then with a brush, you get rid of that burnt ends, and then you pounce it, which is with a sandpaper.
Okay.
You start. I was doing it by hand until like a month ago. So by hand, you start pouncing it until you get this velvety kind of feel. So
Yeah.
there's no more furry. There's no more furry spots, and it's very very soft to the touch. And then from there, you start working on the. You cut the brim as the customer requests, so you can have a 4-inch wingspan for to make it like a cowboy hat, like a
Yeah.
western hat, or you can go. I always recommend between 3 and 3.5 inches for a fedora,
Oh,
because if
nice.
not, they look like way too big
Yeah.
on people. Unless you are 6'5",
You
it's gonna
know,
be
a
like
bigger person might
yeah.
would
So
want
it
to.
just
Yeah.
depends on the customer like physique. It
Yeah.
always it's I love to say that it's like a haircut. So
Yeah.
it's like you are gonna make a hat that is gonna fit the person's face, the hair, the shoulders, span. Like
You want
length.
to
So
consider what will look good on
yeah,
them,
exactly.
style
So you
wise,
don't
fashion
want
wise.
like a short person, like a tiny person to wear a
Giant
huge hat,
hat.
because I mean I'll do it. I'll make
If
my
it's what they
customers
want.
happy, but
Yeah.
I will always recommend certain things. Like
Yeah.
style wise. But then yeah, so that's the pouncing part, and now I use a machine, a sander, a wood sander, and it's a little bit faster. Um, it's a little bit more complex because you don't have control on how fast
Yeah.
the
So you have to probably be a
sander.
little careful
You
about
have to
it.
be
Yeah.
more careful now. So
Yeah.
it's a little bit faster. It worries me a little bit more, but I love it. I just have to like focus and be aware of
It
what
makes.
I'm
I'm
doing
sure
with
it makes
that,
the
and
process
it
a
does,
lot
yeah.
quicker. Yeah.
But it's yeah. So this is like the midway of making a hat, and then I have another one here that I'm working on. This is
Oh,
the one that I'm gonna put the beaver on actually. It's
nice.
gonna go probably back here. It's gonna look very very nice.
Oh.
So from there, you cut the brim on the size of the request that the customer want, like how long or wide the brim they want, and then you work on the crown. The shape usually, the Western style. It's very popular lately.
Yeah.
So I've been doing a lot of cowboy hats, and then there are some fedoras that they want middle crease too, which
Oh.
it's a good combination. It's a good hybrid, I'll say, between both worlds of
Fedora and
the
cowboy
yeah.
hat. Yeah.
And then of course there's what I imagined at the very beginning of the business was to start creating the open road hats. So Stetson have like a very classic open road style, which is
Yeah.
very popular because you can use it whenever you dress up for like a fancy place or a fancy event, or you can just wear it for brunch.
There you
Like
go.
you can. It's that hat is just uh, style wise is just too wide that you can use it for whatever you
Yeah.
want. So I started making those. I haven't done a lot of them, but I just made a couple. But
Hey, that's cool though.
yeah, the Western hats, the cowboy hats, they've been really popular lately. So
All right.
yeah, so you have to steam it. You like with the steam, you make the felt like really really soft, and then you start shaping it.
All
It's interesting. It looks kind of like kind of easy to make, but once you start like pushing it down, everything starts moving around.
So you got to be
because
very
it's
careful
soft.
about how you're
Yeah,
shaping it.
because
It's
because of
almost
the
like
steam.
it's like almost like clay. You got to
Yeah,
be careful
exactly.
about how you're
Yeah.
moving the clay around.
So
Yeah.
it's so soft whenever you get it off the steamer. that whenever you push in here, all these parts start changing.
Ooh.
And then this the crease here, down here, or even the wings start like folding down and all. So
Oh.
you have to be very careful. I usually work the crown first because it's the most complex part
Yeah.
of the hat. And after this is cooled down and it's stiff, you can hear it.
Yeah.
It's stiff enough, you can go with the wings because, of course, instead of putting the steam here, which makes everything soft, you just use a directional like point of
Okay.
heating up just this part, and then you start bending it.
Yeah,
and
so
it
that
won't mess
the
with
rest of the
crown.
hat's further away from
Yeah.
the steam, so it's
Yeah.
less
So
pliable.
it's just, I mean,
Okay.
it's just lovely. I love to make hats, and of course, the best part is whenever I deliver the hat, the smile and the reaction on
Aw.
people. Whenever they put it on, they go to the mirror and check it out, and oh my God, I look so good.
And you
I'm
know,
like, yes, you do.
and the fact that you made the hat to fit them, they're more likely to wear it more because it feels better on their
Yes.
head. Because wearing a hat that isn't the most comfortable, you won't wear it as often.
Right.
But a hat that is fitted to you and customized to your personality and
Yeah.
what you wanted,
Yeah.
and you're more likely
It's
to wear it.
funny. Like I have a binder like I showed you whenever you were at the store. That I have hats that are very classic, timeless. Like very minimalistic looking. I'll say. But then there are some others that for example, I made one for a musician that he was gonna use on stage. So he wanted a bandana, a burnt bandana. He wanted the
Oh, that's
de-stressed
cool.
hat. Like a big feather.
Oh.
Some stitching here, stitching there. Like the brim was
He
cut.
wanted it to be a little grungy.
Yeah, so it's
know.
like it just depends on what person is gonna get the hat.
It's a
I love
fashion,
it.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's a fashion.
But it's your own style, so that's
Yeah.
what I love.
That's
I made
great.
a very personal hat for a customer. She brought several like elements into a couple of designs that I put on the side of the hat on both sides, and the turnout was like super nice. She brought her mom whenever they were picking the hat up, and the mom was like, like
Aw.
moved by that. So that was it's just. I don't ask a lot of questions, but if it means a lot to me, a lot to you, it means a lot to me to make
And
it
then you get to
happen,
see how they express it when they get to see it.
Yes.
And I bet that's fulfilling.
Yeah. It's
It's
really sweet.
it kind of is like when someone sees a piece of my art and it whatever it is that I intended don't matter in that moment. It's what they're feeling when they see it that matters in that moment. And it's like they end up, buying it because they feel that with that piece. And it's not honestly, I'm not going to question it because if it makes you feel that way, that's what I want more than
Perfect.
anything.
Yes.
Right? Like my intention for that piece can be something completely different than what they're
Exactly.
feeling, but that's fine.
Yep.
It's what makes them happy,
Yeah.
the collector.
Yeah, that's my whenever it comes to art, I think that's the way I love to like the interpretation of if I'm the artist and I make something, you don't have to ask me what I mean by making this or what's the meaning
Yeah.
behind this, or I mean it's okay if you ask me why I did it, why I came, like where the idea came from, but what I rather is to listen to you, what makes you feel.
Yeah.
That's what feed us, the artists. Like I wanna, like, what do you see? What do you feel? Where it takes you whenever you see my piece. So
Yeah, because
that
we
is
know
how-
we're impacting somebody in some way that, most people don't get to impact people
Yeah.
that way. We're lucky enough to be able
I agree.
to express something that gives something to somebody,
Yeah.
right?
Yep.
So, okay, well, thank you so much. That was I loved your detailed description. I
Thank you
was
so
going to
much,
ask you
baby.
for it. So, and you repair other people's hats as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I whenever it comes to cleaning, resizing, of course there are some times that the hat is very meaningful. So whenever it comes to resizing, I just have to tell them, I need to get rid of this old sweatband, but you can keep it.
Yeah.
For another customer, the sweatband was very important, so I cut off the brand and I stitch it on a new sweatband that I put on the
Oh,
hat,
nice.
so they can have like a little piece of that too.
Hey,
So
that's a smart way to adapt.
so I
to
think there's
using
always
it.
a way to just keep the nostalgia on another older hat that was not what passed down to you. But yeah, I always try to find ways to like keep it i- meaningful. You
Yeah.
know, it's not like a repair doesn't mean that you have to redo the hat and just remove the stains and do all
Yeah.
this. Like sometimes the stains are the character and it's the
Yeah.
persona that was wearing it through all these years. You don't want to get rid of that.
You want to
You
keep the
know? Yeah.
character that.
But I mean,
Yeah.
if it's like a beer stain or something, I get rid of that.
Yeah.
You know? Yeah.
Like
But
a
yeah.
little burn or something though might
Yeah,
be
like a
something you want to
cigarette burn,
keep.
for
You know.
example. I mean, I will never get rid of that. You know, that was like if it was my grandfather's. I mean,
Yeah.
I've never
You
met
never
my
know
grandfather,
what.
but if he had a hat and he passed it down to me and he had a cigarette burn, I will be like, that's him
It's
right there.
character.
You know, yeah.
It's something
So
from that he left
yeah,
on that. You know, that's it's a mark
Yeah.
that you can keep with
exactly.
you. Right?
So yeah, I
Signature.
do repairs, cleaning, resizing, reshaping. Of course, my hats. Whenever you get a hat from nail bender, it has a lifetime warranty. So
Oh.
if something happened to the hat, uh, manufacturer
Yeah.
speaking, you can bring it to the store. I'll repair it for free,
Oh,
no
that's
cost at all.
wonderful.
So yeah, and of course, like what I tell my customers, if the dog bite a piece off of it, I'm sorry, but I cannot
Yeah.
stitch another piece to it. Or
That's-
we can, but it will be a different color. I don't know if you like that, but you know, there's
Hey,
always
that
a
might
ways,
be cool.
there's always ways to fix it, but you know, like it might cost a little bit if it's not manufacturer
Yeah.
issue.
So,
But,
what materials do you like? I see you have different types of materials you
Yeah.
make your hats out
yeah,
of.
so usually I work with 100% rabbit felt, 50-50, which is 50% rabbit and 50% beaver. And then the top of the line is the 100% beaver one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and where we source the hats from, they have a controlled. It's not just hunting to hunt animals just in
Yeah.
a cruel way.
You're not
They have-
endangering
No,
us,
it's
you know,
it's a
anything.
controlled kind of hunting kind of ways to do it. So
Oh, very
we're
nice.
not like putting in danger any of the species. But yeah, I mean, I think it's very important to say that out loud
Yeah.
because it's
It's nice to know you're not endangering an ecosystem anywhere.
yeah,
You know,
exactly.
that gives you some, feelings. Like, okay, I'm good.
Yeah.
I don't feel guilty for wearing.
Yeah,
the
I
beaver.
agree. Yeah, sometimes it's kind of, my wife at the very beginning when I started the business, she was like, "Oh, is that a rabbit?" Philip?" I'm like, "Yes, baby, but it's
Look,
it's a control.
It's part of the
thing, and
craft,
like,
you
yeah.
know. You know.
It's like we eat.
It might not be
we
for everybody, but it's part of the craft.
Yeah. I mean, there's a craft for everybody, and I mean, wool hats. There are wool hats out there. There faux wool. There are straw hats. You can get any sort of hat that you want out there. But yeah, I mean, of course, we're just keeping the tradition of the hat making, which is
Yeah.
with this kind of fur.
Very nice. Well, thank you so much for
Thank
talking
you,
to me about
thank you,
that.
Brittany. Thank you so much.
So, what advice would you give to someone that wants to learn this craft?
Be patient. Be patient. Be ready for like steam burns for sure. Be ready to poke your fingers back and forth like 24/7. It's a thing. The pain doesn't go away. Like using those needles and going through. Of course, depending on the felt, going through it. It's harder and harder depending on the felt. So
Yeah.
the feeling on the fingers,
Oh, yeah.
it's gonna be there for a good moment, and yeah, just be patient, be aware of the sweat that you're gonna put on it. It's not as easy, or like will make it look easy on the videos, on the reels,
Yeah.
but it takes a lot of time. It takes a very, very long time to get everything
Reels
even.
only capture the quick, like the small parts.
Yeah. We make the
There
reels
is
to-
a lot of endurance that
Yeah.
it takes to craft something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
That-
make the reels to make you watch us and have fun while we work. So it's it's a really complex craft, like keeping everything even. Again, patience is the clue right there. You know, like
Yeah.
sometimes there's sometimes that I really want to throw that felt away out of the window, but I need to calm my nerves and just do it again.
Keep
You know,
working it, you
yeah,
know.
just
Keep
keep working
working it.
hard. Just that don't get frustrated, or yes, but clear your mind afterwards and just be patient. That's the yeah.
Well, thank you. So, what social media are you on so people can follow your
Yeah,
store? And
you can follow me on Instagram under Nail Bender Official, and then on Facebook you can find it as Nail Bender Provisions.
okay, all right. So, thank you so much
Thank
for
you.
talking to
I
me.
appreciate you.
Is
Thank
there
you for your
any?
time.
Is there anything else you want to say before we go?
Well, nothing, no, not really. Thank you so much for inviting me and allowing me to explain a little bit of my craft
There's
here
no
with you.
problem. I'm glad that we have someone doing your type of craft here in our
Thank you.
city. You know, when we got something unique like that, I'm glad that I get to showcase it here. Yeah, I think that's it's
Perfect.
important,
Yeah,
right?
it is. Thank you so much. I
No
really
problem.
appreciate you putting us on the spot for people to know that we are out there.
No, it's no problem. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Brittany.
All right, guys. So that was my interview with the owner, Federico from Nailbender Provisions. And again, Nailbender is over on Gilbert, near Key, Mexico. And like he said, it is right across their little patio area. It's right there in the building next to Key, Mexico's building. And it is a wonderful shop. They have custom bracelets and stuff that were made. Let's see, it has Shreve, and a little buffalo stamped on it. And this was a custom made piece from a local artist. So they have local artisan goods. Like you said, a shop, Good Socks, is a local brand from here. And artists, prints and stuff from Hillary Fraser. And cool, unique clothes, scents, incense, um, these glass made chine, like little glass, stained glass hangables for windows and stuff. Some really cool things to check out there. And again, if you want to order a custom hat, he's the place to go. He's the person to go to locally here. So yeah, definitely. Oh, also check out his Instagram. This is some of his thread work. I just love, like, he on his Instagram, he shows how his process is. That hat is beautiful right there. Here's some of the aesthetics. Like, he has a lot of like old school Western style clothes there. Some denim. Yeah, here's those bracelets I was just pointing out. Yeah, it has its own aesthetics. You know, it's a very unique little store. Oh, these mugs are like handmade mugs. They're really cute. But yeah, and here's the shirts he was talking about with the shield, city shield on it, and with Shreveport over it. So if you're a big supporter of Shreveport, this is a cool shirt to have. Shreveport versus everyone, right? All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for stopping in and watching my Architect's Artistry. Every time you guys watch is a big support to me and everything I'm doing, covering local arts and artists. And I just want to keep on doing that. You know, it's important to me. It's important to our city and our area. And this includes the rest of ArkLaTex. So if you guys know anybody that's an artist or you have an art event coming up that you want to talk about, come shoot me an email at Brittney period Hazelton at KSLA.com and send me some pictures of your stuff, some links to your profiles, and show me what you got, and let's set up a conversation sometime. Um, all right. Additionally, guys, you can also find me on Facebook, Brittney Hazelton on Facebook. You follow me there. I post something, some of my experiences at art events, my own art. I post several different things. Here's some art I did. I finished this one today, actually. It's two little characters. But yeah, this is me and my husband. We're at the Meadows Museum for Star Williams's part in the Perceptions Gallery. Uh, Pole Jack Wealth Management Group. Uh, they're collectors of art. They held that exhibition, and they told me that they plan to hold a bigger exhibition in a bigger space sometime, and to showcase more artists. So I look forward to that. That'll be a really interesting experience, and it's nice to have collectors like them in the area. We really need more people like them that collect a lot of artists, and that's really what they do. Their entire office, they showed me pictures. Their entire office, wall to wall, is just art from artists that they collect and that they love, and it's not just they put in effort to actually support the arts, not just by random mass produced decor. They're out there actually supporting, and then also putting on exhibitions for artists, which is amazing. More people like that would be wonderful in our city. But anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to follow me here on Facebook. You can also find more of the articles and interviews that I do on KSLA.com under the podcast section for ArkLaTex Artistry. And that's both videos and articles, because I always write an article for each of these. The article for this one will be posted later today, so keep an eye out for that, so you can see a few more visual details and get links to all the social medias or places that are referenced in that in our story today. All right, you guys take care, and I will see you guys Wednesday at 11 for the recap of this, if you want to watch that, and then 12 every Saturday 12 at noon. I always have a new interview with a different artist. All right, guys, you take care and have a good weekend.